Today, I'm gonna be going over with you guys 5 different fragrances that I personally feel like are underrated. These are fragrances that maybe don't get a whole lot of hype, sometimes even get a decent amount of hate, but I actually think they're pretty good. Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing well. Let's jump into this and check out these 5 underrated fragrances. So as I said, each one of these fragrances, which are right off screen as of right now, are different levels of underrated in my opinion. Some of these are just kind of passed by where people don't really give them a second thought. Other fragrances here sometimes get a little bit of hate and people say, oh, it's not a good fragrance at all. And I gotta say, I disagree, at least in these cases. So this first one is a fragrance that's actually got a little bit of sentimental value to me. So you could say that I'm a little bit biased, but I do genuinely think that it's a really solid fragrance. This one my wife got for me years ago. I have a vintage bottle and a more recent bottle as well. And I gotta say there's not really a big difference between the two. It's this one, Versace the Dreamer. This one has lavender, sage, tobacco, tonka, and fir as some of the notes in the fragrance, and actually it has a whole bunch of notes in the fragrance. So it has a little bit of a throwback style in the way that the fragrance is described using the note breakdown. A lot of times nowadays you'll have a very simplistic note breakdown where you have just a few notes on there in the top, mid, and bottom, sometimes only one in each. This one though, pretty complex. Presentation here is fantastic. I really like it, very classy. You have the Medusa right here in the middle, and then the atomizer is actually just the top. As you can see right there, there is no cap. This one, sometimes people will say has a challenging opening. Some people will say that it's a little bit harsh. Personally though, I really like the opening. It's actually my favorite part of the fragrance. It's really unique, doesn't smell like anything else out there. And nowadays with so many designer releases smelling similar to other designer releases, it's really nice to have something like this that's really different. The tobacco in here is gonna be one of the main notes. It's not really a pipe tobacco, a honeyed tobacco. This one a little bit on the drier side of things as far as the tobacco leaf note is concerned. You're also gonna get some herbaceousness in there from the sage, and you have a good amount of lavender in here as well. It's a classic masculine fragrance. It's done very well, and it still holds up today. And actually for me, performance is really good as well, and it's not an expensive scent. It is different, so for some people out there, it's not gonna be a love, but for me, I think that it's fantastic. So Versace the Dreamer, underrated in my opinion. The next fragrance that I think is underrated is great for spring and summer daytime casual use. I know that sounds really specific, but basically anytime that it's warm outside and green outside, it's gonna be good. It's not very expensive. It's not necessarily groundbreaking or anything like that, but for the price, I think it's really good. And it's this one right here, Boss Bottled Tonic. This is a bit of a monstrosity of a bottle, 200 mils, but with this much, you can just spray it and reapply as many times as you want, and it's not gonna matter. This one has apple and cinnamon, which you would expect from the Boss Bottled line. There's also cardamom in here, there's bitter orange, and vetiver. This one is gonna be a much fresher, which you would expect looking at this and seeing the name, take on the Boss Bottled DNA. So it does have that spicy sort of apple feel to it, but in a really lively, zingy sort of way, which is really accented by the ginger in the fragrance. While it's not super unique, while it's not groundbreaking, it does take that Boss Bottled DNA that people love so much and turns it into a fantastic warm weather fragrance that is very affordable. Performance on it, maybe not amazing, but the fragrance itself is really good, and I feel like overlooked as far as cheapy summertime scents go. The next one is just a straight up gentlemanly powerhouse. Again, very affordable from discounters. It's actually one of the best buys from discounters that you can get, in my opinion. It's Jaipur Homme from Boucheron. This is the eau de toilette. The eau de parfum is also fantastic. This one has benzoin, tonka, cardamom, cinnamon, and carnation as some of the notes in the fragrance. And just by seeing that carnation in the note breakdown, you can kind of know or tell that this does have a bit of a throwback feel to it. This one is gonna be for fans of fragrances that came out kind of mid 80s to early 90s. Fragrances in that style this is gonna really speak to you. It's done by Anique Minardo. She's a fantastic perfumer. And like I said, for the price that you can get this for, really, really good. It's classy, it's warm, it's spicy. For sure, this is not going to appeal to younger guys out there, people that are teenagers or early 20s. Not gonna do it for you. This is probably best suited for people in their 30s and up. But assuming that you fall into that age range and you like fragrances that do have a little bit of that throwback vibe, check this out. This is one of the best bangs for your buck that you're ever gonna find at discounters. That one I feel like a little bit underrated because people just do not talk about it really much at all. And I understand it does have, like I said, that kind of throwback feel to it. It's not hyper modern, but quality-wise versus what you pay, really good. This next one really kind of falls into the same boat as bottled tonic. This one is great for spring, great for summer, great for daytime use, casual use, and it's not very expensive. It's this one, Womo Casual Life. For me, Casual Life is underrated, just like casual fragrances.
Hey, wait a minute. Underrated? Casual fragrance? I mean, I see you going here, Ashton. I see I'm not part of the clique. I get it. Well, you know what fragrance is underrated? From the house of Zara? Zara Ginger Lover. Very underrated. Underrated gem, but I am casual fragrance. I'm not underrated. Peace out, guys.
This one has coffee, as lemon, ambroxan, musk, and violet leaf as some of the notes in the fragrance. Obviously, part of the Womo line, most popular of which is the original Womo, and then probably Womo's signature. This line does have two fragrances that can be used in warmer weather though, this one and Urban Feel. Casual Life to me is basically what it says right here on the bottle. Just a great grab and go, dumb reach kind of fragrance. The violet leaf in here gives you kind of a green feel. The coffee is not too harsh, not too in your face. You of course have that ambroxan giving it a very modern feel as it dries down, along with a little bit of sweetness. This one is great in a white t-shirt, in a button up, in a polo, in springtime especially, but summer also. Again, it's one of those fragrances that I think is just a really good bang for your buck. You can get a lot of usage out of it. You can wear it a lot of places. Most people are gonna really love the way that it smells, and it's not gonna cost you all that much. And so for those reasons, I think it's pretty well underrated. And for me, I actually like the way these bottles look. I like where it says Ferragamo on the sides. I like the atomizer being built into the top here, a little bit like Dreamer, where you just press down and it sprays. I think it's really nice. Next up, yet another spring and summertime daytime fragrance. This one is super, super fresh. Really great if you love bergamot, if you love citrus. This one should be on your list because you can get it for under 30 bucks. It's very realistic smelling citrus, very pleasing, very easy to wear. It's Zegna Acqua di Bergamotto. One thing that I really like about this fragrance is that it's very inexpensive and it smells similar to a much more expensive fragrance from the same house. This one, Italian bergamot. So same house, different fragrance, and this one is gonna get you pretty close to this one for much less. There are florals and C notes in here, along with a good amount of citrus, actually a lot of citrus up top. Mainly though, bergamot, right in the name. And I mean, really the name tells you what this is. This is an aquatic bergamot fragrance. It's enormously fresh, very easy to wear. In warm weather, this one is a stunner. I mean, if you're gonna go out and be around a lot of people and you wanna smell clean, you wanna smell super appealing, that one will get it done. The main drawback for that fragrance really, performance, that's about it. It's not a great performing fragrance, but the price is great, the quality is great, the smell is great. So if you can put up with some subpar performance for a fantastic smelling summer fragrance, check that one out. And we are to the last one in this list. This one got a good amount of hate when it came out. People kind of didn't like it a whole lot. And I understand, it's a departure from what the line is. And people were expecting something that was gonna really blow them away, and a lot of people were not blown away. It is the One Gray from Dolce & Gabbana. This one has grapefruit, tobacco, vetiver, and cardamom as some of the notes in the fragrance. This line is really well known for producing great date night, evening fragrances. A lot of times people will say they're more for fall and winter. So when this one came out, it was a bit of a departure. This one is taking that DNA and making it more of like an office-friendly springtime kind of fragrance. You can still get bits and pieces of the one DNA in the fragrance, but really what stands out more is that grapefruit off the top and a clean sort of vetiver as it dries down. So that's gonna give this one more of a gentlemanly, sort of sophisticated office time fragrance vibe. And personally, I think it works. Yeah, it's not necessarily a big date night fragrance, but the scent itself is solid. A lot of people hated on it. It's actually really good. It's a compliment puller, an attention grabber, super versatile. You can use this daytime or nighttime. You can dress this one up and wear it formally. You can wear it casually. You can do a lot with it, and it doesn't cost all that much from discounters. So while the one gray gets a lot of hate, personally, I think it's pretty good. Let me know in the comments some fragrances that you personally think are underrated. Fragrances that maybe other people hate on that you really love. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.